Oh, I haven't been looking forward to this one at all. I detest this thing in so many ways. If you've been around the channel for a long time, you know, you would have to know if you've been around the channel a long time, that the worst two scores I ever gave, that I think were actually fair scores, was to Universe Galvatron, the deluxe one, that was trash, and to Reveal the Shield Perceptor, which I like, but I never liked the transformation of it, so that's why it scored poorly, because the transformation is just awful. Enter the Studio Series Rise of the Beast Battletrap, and what a great looking robot mode. And that's where the good points of this end. We're going to talk about it all in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course subscribe, and while you're at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. Helps me out a ton, let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that is in the description down below, also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And this is Battletrap. Look, we're going to talk about the good, bad, and the whole lot of ugly. When we come back here, we're going to talk about this thing from Optimus Primal. I didn't have it in the actual review, but we're going to talk about this and how it's supposed to work and whether or not it does. And we're kind of sort of going to do a little bit of a pseudo-partial review when we come back here as well. You'll see what I mean. But for now, let's head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And once again, courtesy of our buddy Daryl, we're taking a look at the Rise of the Beasts Battletrap. And no box, no instructions, so this is going to be an adventure because I have not heard good things about this. And my fiddling with this guy, I don't particularly like him. I got a lot of issues with this guy. But here he is next to the Power of the Primes Duocon version of Battletrap. Obviously, this is a Voyager, this is a Deluxe when you put the two Legends class together. And yeah, so this is my Battletrap because that's the way I knew it from the old G1 days. I guess, not for nothing, it's worth just pointing out how big he is next to Scourge. I think Scourge is... Scourge tipped over. But he's gone a little off screen, I believe. But that's fine. You can see he comes up to about Scourge's shoulder, bicep shoulder. You get the idea. In terms of looks for the guy, again, this was based on concept, but we'll try and match it up as best we can, starting from the feet going up. The feet should be orange, not gray, though this little section here being orange is correct. The front of the legs being like silver and gunmetal gray and that sort of stuff, yeah, that's all right. Around the knee being orange is right. The entirety of the upper leg should be gray, but I'm going to give it to him here. The pelvis here is the right orangey color. The tummy section you kind of can't really see for the sake of the grill here, but the grill is about as incorporated as I could hope for it to be, though the grill behind it here that's silver ended up being orange, and there should be a little orangey light bar in the middle of his chest here that we don't quite, actually I guess at the end of this piece, that we don't quite have. The head sculpt is okay, though some of the detailing on the face should be repainted, and the angle of the eyebrow, I'll say, should be a little bit different. The shoulder spikes, they're here, they're here. The shoulder pads are also there. The arms being mostly gray, that's correct. So like, it's mostly accurate, but not perfectly accurate because again, concept art. I'm going to say it's a 9. Again, if you know the movie, you're going to know that this is Battletrap. He does come with the wrecking ball piece. Using the peg, there's a couple of, there's like a little rectangular end to this peg that can go loosely, and I mean loosely, slotted into an opening here in the orange translucent. So it sort of, if I can get it in there now. So it sort of stays on the back there as storage, but like it's loose. If you want it in either hand, you can put the peg up through the hand and then close it around. If you have the Rise of the Beast Optimus Primal flail, which I do have, I just don't have it handy, there's a way that you can like basically attach that in here and have it coming off of his arm. It's intended to go used with him. Or some people will actually bring this piece rotated out and opened out, and they'll find a way to attach it here. Actually, I think they attach it like in right here or right here as part of like the flail here. No, I'm not doing any of that. I don't think any of it works very well, to be honest with you. So that's why I'm not doing any of it, because I don't particularly find it works well. Nevertheless, we have a decent score to start things with a 9. I'm saying a 9 for the look. I think that that's about fair. The articulation. We have a head that can go left and right. It can look up. It can look down if you bring the head forward. So it can look down if you break the sculpt. The shoulders, they can go all the way around, all the way out to the side. When you come down, the shoulder pad tends to come with it, but not always. Bicep swivel, elbow slightly over 90 degrees. Nothing that I can discern at the wrist. I don't think the guy has wrist rotation. We do have a waist on him, which is neat. The legs go forward, and they can go back about that far. I guess you could probably push it if you really wanted to, but I wouldn't. Thigh rotation, and it just popped out? That's new. Okay. Okay, but thigh rotation. Deep knee, over 90 degrees at the knee. Toe forward. No heel because it's all one piece. So toe forward, heel spur? Nah. And no ankle tilt? Wait, that can't be right, is it? Bugger. Oh no, there is an ankle tilt. I'm sorry, there is an ankle tilt. I was gonna say, the orange piece doesn't move, but the gray piece does. I mean, man, nothing at the wrist? Really? Bummer. So, nothing at the wrist, and you got all this junk on the back of the arm. It's not a big deal, but it's gonna cause things to like knock into each other a little bit with some poses. The junk on the back, the lack of a wrist, 8.75. I'll say 8.75. Most of it's there. I will also note that on the back here, on the hips, I had to loosen the screws because on Daryl's copy, these hips are terrifying, or were terrifyingly tight. Not so much now. They're still pretty darn snug and tight, but not as terrifying as they were. So a 9 for the look, and 8.75, we'll say an 8.8 for this guy. It's probably 8.8125 or some nonsense like that. But we'll say an 8.8. Not quite a 9, but so far, still pretty darn good. I guess we'll do the transformation, or we're going to try the transformation. And that's where this guy is going to suffer, I promise. Pardon the cut, Starscream wife needed me for a moment. But as I was saying, I wish I could say that the transformation will not hurt his score, but I'm going to tell you now, it will. Expect a few cuts in here because it's just a nuisance. At least from the waist up. Waist down, brilliant. But I'll do the best I can to show you what I can. So we're going to begin really on the back of the legs here. And, oh, actually I already got them left out. So these pieces here should be on the outside of the leg. And I already had them turned. I forgot I already had them turned. So they're on the inside of the leg. And the legs, they can fit together like that. So for a good chunk of the leg, we kind of got that done. Okay, so we're also now going to deal with these lights. And really, we bring it up, and we bring it up, and we now at this hinge should be able to rotate it out, and this one likes to come off the ball joint. Rotate it out, and then we should be able to fit those together thusly, right? So that's the back done. This whole section here, actually we can put, you know what, let's do all of this with the arm first. We put the pad down, we bring the I don't know what you call them, spikes, I guess, down. And like, I think that this is bad engineering, because when you do the transformation, part of the arm got to go over the spike. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm probably going to do it off screen though, because it's a nuisance. So we got that down. I'm going to do the same over here. I'm going to rotate this piece down. I'm going to flip this piece out, bring down the shoulder pad, rotate down the little tab section, the spikes. Man, why am I struggling with the word spike? Bring all of the grill, the neck, the head, all of that we're going to bring forward. And we're going to bring out the grill section here. And we're going to, maybe I can do it this way. I should be able, I think, to rotate this around now. There. But again, like, the tolerances aren't great for it, honestly. Because we got this whole section out, we can also rotate up a Jeep chunk, rotate up a Jeep chunk, and they will have a locking point. We can come down here to where the head section is and fold the head back, and the whole thing now goes up in the body. Also, we'll put the feet down, we're going to rotate at the waist, and we're going to bring down these sections, because this will become the side of the truck eventually, right? So we kind of got all of the bottom part now done. The whole cab section we're going to leave up there. We're going to bring up this and bring it out to the side. We're going to bring up this and bring it out to the side. Now, it's worth noting that the orange piece on the outside of the arm is going to be on the inside. And the way that this basically is supposed to work is this spike, not the shorter one, the taller one, should go slotted into a little opening on the arm. And then the whole thing goes rotated in and past these hips. Now, these hips are a nuisance, at least on Daryl's copy, to get it past. I do find if you move them a bit, you can get it in, but his hips are so tight that getting them back up into position is a bit of a Herculean task. But this should go back, and similarly on this side, we would do the same sort of thing, right? We would turn it so that it folds this way, and then really what we should be doing is, I don't even know if I can do it now, and there is, by the way, a double joint right here that's supposed to be able to help you get this in. I don't know how well it helps though, to be honest with you, because it does like to pop off and stuff. But like basically kind of sort of, it should be in like this on both sides. This is not flush, so I need to get it flush, and I need to get this one in. I'm going to do both of that off screen, because the two major failures for this transformation is the lack of clearance. Oh gosh. The lack of clearance for these spikes. If these spikes are a design element that couldn't be incorporated easily, then maybe you shouldn't have incorporated them into the character design, period. And when it comes to solidifying this part, they say do the front first and then push the rest down. I find that almost impossible to do. So I find I have to push the front down and do it almost the opposite way. But the biggest problem is getting, let's see if I can show this, getting these two pieces to slot down under these two chest chunks. But again, we'll get to that as we get to it. I'm not even going to attempt to get these shoulders in. I'm just going to go from them like this to the shoulders already in, and we'll kind of pick the transformation up from there, because getting the shoulders in and the arms down over the little spikes is a pain in the neck. All right, so now we've got it in, and really what you've got to do is get it in and then kind of angle the hips up. The tighter your hips are, the harder that is to do. Putting this piece together at the back is also a nuisance. It's one little peg that connects right here. I don't find it likes to stay, but you do need to rotate these on the arms a little bit. Okay, next, this should come up on the side, and this should come up on the side, and both of these need to kind of squeeze and peg in. And I can't tell you any way to do it with finesse other than other than to like force it in. And I wish that I didn't have to do that because I'm not comfortable doing it in the least. I do find the left side here likes to go in a lot easier than the right side. So again, you're gonna have to give me a minute because I gotta try and get this right side in, and it's just a pain in the neck to do. Have you noticed how many cuts I've had to do trying to do this transformation? Because it's just awful. This is arduous, and I don't feel rewarded going to truck mode because I have yet to actually get the truck mode completed. And I don't believe for a second it's gonna happen here. So, the idea that you're supposed to do with this whole cab piece is the front bumper piece goes on over these two little rectangular tabs, and then the whole piece is supposed to slot down nicely over these teeny tiny little gray tabs. And I don't find it ever wants to do it. So I'm going to bring that back. I'm going to make sure that these are lined up, because that's the other thing you got to make sure of. Everything got to be so specific with this guy. So incredibly, uncomfortably, arduously specific with this guy. And once you got that in, again, I can't tell you any nice way to finesse any of this in. It's so bad. It's so bad. I gotta try and get the hood in. I told you that this section was hard, and then I'll see how close I can get to pushing that down. And boom, here we have him in his vehicle mode finally, but there's no joy here. You know, he was getting an 8.8, but doing this is such a nuisance because the shoulders have to be so specific. Because this tolerance here is so tight. Because these have one little tab and don't like to tab into each other. But most importantly, the top of the truck loves to push off of these little gray tabs, so it never looks like it's sitting quite flush. I'm tempted to say a 0 for the transformation because most people are going to struggle to do it and will never get the full alt mode done. This is the first time I've ever gotten this alt mode to actually work. I get the idea is kind of elegant, but the execution is a failure. I'm giving the transformation 3 or 4. It's not fun, and I don't feel rewarded getting here because the fact that it's pushing out these gray ones drives me nuts. The fact that we have just hands hanging out here drives me nuts. It's just not well executed. 8.8, but I mean the overall score for this guy is 5, 6. Great robot, cool look, great display presence on the shelf, but the transformation is not fun, and the resulting truck mode, because it doesn't tab in well in the back, and getting this whole section down is a Herculean task that might require you going back and fiddling with these arms and stuff even more. It's sloppy. That's what it is. The engineering and the execution is sloppy. Neat design, actual execution as sloppy as it gets. Overall score from me is going to be about a 5. I can't recommend this at all. And here we are once again, and here he is. So the good points. He looks great. Yeah, okay, it's stylized from the film because it was based on concept art. But if you know the film, you get a pretty good idea that this is Battletrap. The articulation is also really good, except for all this junk hanging off the back of the arm. It's not a big deal. Doesn't really hinder articulation. It's real ugly back there. There was no better way to incorporate that. These shoulder pads and these little spikes are atrocious. They are one of the sticking points that pretty much ruins the transformation, as is trying to fit like the hood pieces here down over these two sections. Terrible, terrible, terrible design. Of course, as you know by now, this one broke right off. I've rebuilt it with Bondic and it stays on now, but it's just awful, just awful. I like the truck mode in the end, but it's not rewarding going there, and going back to robot is also not rewarding because trying to pop out those difficult sections is still hard. I had to go to the back and loosen a couple of screws on the hips because the hips were so Herculean scary tight that I was really seriously afraid that I was going to break this on Daryl. Shout out to Daryl, this is his. Then we have this thing from Optimus Primal, and the way that this is supposed to work is this back piece is supposed to come out from the back and hold on, fold out here on the side by the arm, right? So you fold down the back, you fold out by the arm, and then down right, see if I can show this, it's hard. Down right here, there's a little start, and that start is supposed to take the opening here. Problem is, when I do that, and I will do that, the problem is when I do that, it's not secure. It falls off. It's not even slightly secure. There's pretty much zero friction. So if yours has better friction and can actually do that, cool. But my piece from Optimus Primal, nope, doesn't even work a little bit. I've tried on both arms. Doesn't work on either. It also says that this little 3mm post should go into the side of the mace. There's a little 3mm slot there, so I do it here, and nothing. Literally not 1 ounce of friction. What about in this hole? No, not really. What about in... Nope, there's only 2. So this from Optimus Primal does not work with the mace, nor does it work on him at all. Zero friction, none, zero. I don't know why I laid him down here. This is a transformer that I would advise you never, ever, ever, ever transform, because you could break something. I don't feel like the tolerances are good. If I had to spend money on this, I would be really disappointed. I think it's terrible. I think it's atrocious. I think this is a case of whoever worked on this should be very embarrassed and should lose their job, because this is unpassably bad. It's that bad. So bad that this Hot Wheels Bumblebee, the gold version, who's all gold with chrome on the bottom and a little black Autobot symbol. I detest Bumblebee. I think this is more Goldbug than Bumblebee. I don't like when my Autobot logos are black. I like them red. And I don't collect Hot Wheels. And guess what? I'm infinitely more excited about having this for $2 than this. I don't like it. It had such potential because it looks good, the articulation is fine, but this does not work. If it works on yours, cool, I'm happy for you, but it's obviously not something that's universal and works all the time. I don't like anything about this. I felt bad because I had skipped over it. I don't feel bad anymore after reviewing it because it's not worth $5, let alone $50. That's my take. It's just that bad. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through Spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you are at it, hit the subscribe button. Stick around and have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way right here inside the videos.